Welcome back to the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. I am Alexander Toledo. I am here at the Kaseya Center after a 110-108 Heat loss at home to the Memphis Grizzlies. Make way for John Morant, folks. You just knew that he was going to be inspired in this game. You knew he was going to be motivated after being investigated by the league for a gesture that he made for a celebration that he had against the Warriors and in his last game. And Ja had his way, man. Like, the Heat did a good job on him as far as his playmaking. Right, he finished with a negative assist-to-turnover ratio. I think you cut down that part of his game, but he still had a great scoring game. You know, he just got those paint touches the way he does and converted from there. And then in the last play of the game, not sure why they did this, right? But they conceded Kel'el Ware there. They conceded the Kel'el Ware switch onto Ja with four other A-level defenders on the floor. Spo went with the quote-unquote all-defense lineup, right? And the idea with Ware being out there is that you keep him where he's actually strong on defense, and that's at the rim. And for as much as I enjoyed watching him do a decent job on Tatum, like on switches against the Celtics, that's not something that you run with at the end of a game when you've got Davion and you've got Haywood Highsmith and you've got Bam out there and you've got Pella. Like, you've got more than enough to, hedge and recover, right? You've got guys, if you want to trap and scramble and rotate, like, you've got all types of things that you can do there. And their aggressive, like, defensive game plan, that's like something that they're known for. So I was a little bit confused as to why they not only conceded the switch, but then, like, there wasn't necessarily like any aggressive help after that. Like, they just kind of left him alone on the island. And look, Cloud did his best, like, to try to contest with his length and not necessarily like give up a foul or anything like that. Ja had to make a semi-contested shot there for the win, but he did it. Like, he had a nice soft touch on it, but honestly, like, and credit to him for making that shot for sure. But as soon as I saw Kel'el, switched onto him, for as much as I have enjoyed watching him play in his rookie season, I just thought that wasn't the move. I wanted to see him get these fourth quarter reps for sure, but they should have done, in my opinion, a better job of keeping him closer to the rim on defense there for that last possession, or trying to keep him away from just being on an island versus, a multi-time All-Star. So that's my thoughts on the last play of the game. Other than that, Tyler had another really nice scoring game. He just continues to show you a little bit of everything as far as getting to the free throw line, making twos, those in-between shots. Had the 4 threes tonight. He also had a rough passing game. Finished with one more assist, to turnovers, just not necessarily what you would want, but he continues to show you, like, that he can read and react to the way the defenses are playing him with, the increased attention. So Bam had a tough shooting game from two, finished 9 of 22 from two. So that's not ideal. He takes, of course, a lot of middies. It's not like those are all shots at the rim, but he definitely had some of those as well. The Heat shot 40% in the restricted area tonight. That's inexcusable. Now, you give them credit for finishing with 10 more field goal attempts, finishing with more free throw attempts. Like, that helped keep them in the game, as well as win the turnover battle by as much as they did. The Grizzlies finished with 18, and the Heat finished with 11. So those are the things that kind of kept them in check there, to compensate for the lack of them making some of the easier shots in the restricted area, because that was the real separator. If you just look at kind of the shooting breakdowns, both teams shot well from three. The Heat actually did better than the Grizzlies in the paint overall, but once you got into that restricted area right by the rim, like, those buckets, to me, like, when you just look at the numbers, end up being the difference. Now, of course, this ends up coming down to a game winner. They could have won. It was a great game, very competitive game. You saw them, kind of continue some of the stuff that's gone on during the streak, including pretty good three-point shooting, but just not enough to get a win when it all comes down to that one possession. You kind of, in my opinion, go away from their identity. I'm glad to see, again, Kel'el get those reps, and, like, you learn from this, right? But, I do just wonder why they didn't do a little bit more there to disrupt things. But anyways, I'm going to go cover the Heat and the Grizzlies now, see what they have to say. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to check out the Discord. The link is going to be in the description, as well as the live stream. 5 on the Floor went live. Ethan, Leif, and Adele, I believe, went live over there, so go check that out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a good night.